British economic news weekly, The Economist, in its democracy index aside for Japan, singled out the Republic of Korea as the only full democracy. 15th August 1945, liberation. 10th May 1948, first election held with universal suffrage. 17th July 1948, the Constitutional Convention promulgates South Korea's constitution. 15th August 1948, a democratic government is established in South Korea. From then until now, Korea democracy, though with much tumult, has progressed. On 15th August 1948, the first democratic republic in Korean history was established. A democratic system that guaranteed representative institutions, the separation of powers, universal suffrage, freedom of the press, protest and association was introduced. Much power was vested in the president, but the National Assembly had the right to select them. Seung-man Rhee, the first president, introduced direct presidential elections in order to maintain his grip on power. He also had the Constitution amended to remove term limits, thus amending the Constitution twice. But in the midst of such authoritarian tendencies, competitive party politics, elections as expressions of the popular will, and education and the value of democracy all became manifest. Rhee's government collapsed as a result of the 19th April Revolution set off by electoral rigging in the 1960 presidential election. Following the 19th April Revolution, the Democratic Party took power, and a constitutional reform that created a parliamentary system was put into effect. However, the demands of the people, long since suppressed, burst forth, creating social turmoil. A group of officers led by Park Chung-hee seized power in a military coup. The Park Chung-hee military government began economic development, while transforming itself into a civilian government through elections. Economic progress ensured Park's easy re-election, but he introduced constitutional amendment to enable him to run for a third term, before becoming president for life under the Yushin system in response to a security crisis. Those openly critical of the new system, some students, religious individuals, and intellectuals, were dealt with severely. However, amid rapid economic growth, the people began increasingly aware of the rights and obligations of the citizens. In the 1978 National Assembly elections, the opposition received more votes than the ruling party. These results gave rise to an upswing in anti-Yushin activities, and the system collapsed from within as the ruling clique disagreed on how to deal with growing protests. Hardliners led by Chun Doo-hwan initiated another coup, extending military dictatorship and restricting the freedoms and rights of the people. With continued rapid economic growth, however, a middle class of highly educated technical staff, technicians, and white-collar workers emerged, creating a growing social base for democracy. The movement for democracy among students, politicians, and intellectuals became more active. In June 1987, the popular movement for the introduction of direct presidential elections reached a climax, with the ruling clique assenting to popular demands. Since then, the Republic of Korea has taken the path of peaceful democratization. From 1987 onward, following constitutional reform, a president has been peacefully elected every given 5 years, while the opposition and ruling parties have swapped power twice. And so, procedural democracy has been consolidated in the Republic of Korea. Following the introduction of constitutional democratic institutions in 1948, though with much trial and error over many years, Korean democracy has grown and matured. Now, what is left is to consolidate still further, building a stronger, fairer politics.